Ladies and gentlemen, this podcast is sponsored by CH Peptides, a trusted source for high-quality research peptides like tirzepatide, BPC 157, and IGF 1LR3. With fast shipping, consistent purity, and top-tier service, CH Peptides keeps things simple and reliable. Want to learn more or book an appointment? Just call or text 707-380-6411. And don't forget to use code LikeItOrNot at chpeptides.com for 15% off of your order. That's 15% off your order with the promo code LikeItOrNot. Products are for research use only, not intended for human or animal use. Complete Health Peptides makes no claims or promises regarding the effects of any product. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of the podcast is sponsored by Thompson Construction, an excavating and grading general engineering contractor based out of Ukiah, California. At Thompson Construction, they love what they do and they take the utmost pride in their work and customer satisfaction with great detail and attention to it. No job is too big or too small. Give them a call today for a quote, 707-391-7679. That's 707-391-7679. At Thompson Construction, they specialize in septic systems installation and repairs, land and site development, grading, drainage systems, underground utilities. They're OQ certified for PG&E excavation and backfill, swimming pool excavations. I mean, if you have a job, these guys can get it done. Give them a call today. Thompson Construction, 707-391-7679. Big supporters of the show, ladies and gentlemen, down at the Thirsty Axe. Wednesday night, every Wednesday is trivia night, and Thursday night, every Thursday is karaoke night. Both of those are free to attend for the public. On August 8th, they have the local boys Weevilism in there, so you might want to go check that out. These guys are up and coming and have a little group following going on there. On the 9th is DJ Tempo, and they've got a bunch of other stuff coming up, so check them out at their website, thirstyaxe.com, for all their upcoming events, or go in there, get a drink, play some pool, throw some axes, and give these guys some love and support. They are awesome people trying to make Ukiah a better place by providing some entertainment for all of us. So check out the Thirsty Axe. I want to tell you guys about DC Customs. Like we said before, if you haven't followed these guys on Instagram, you totally should. DC Customs Ukiah is their handle on Instagram. They're an off-road shop, a repair shop, a tire and wheel shop, a driveline shop, and spray and bed liners. If you need it, they've got it. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 3301 North State Street right here in Ukiah. Their website is dccustoms.net. They do it all, folks. So if you're in need of something for your rig, go down there and talk to their staff. They're wise, knowledgeable, and super friendly. It's ran by a great pair of people here in our community. And just go down there, tell them your boys from Like It or Not sent you. See if they'll give you a little price break or a little quote on something they got going on for you. So that's dccustoms.net, DC Customs. Saddle up, partners, for the 3rd annual Rhinestone Cowboy Ball. That's right, it's time. Get ready for an unforgettable evening where your presence truly makes a difference. Dust off those old boots and join us for the 3rd annual Rhinestone Cowboy Ball on Saturday, September 20th at the historic Ridgewood Ranch. Proudly presented by Redwood Community Services and generously sponsored by Redwood Credit Union and Comcast. This beloved tradition is more than just a celebration. It's a powerful night of purpose, connection, and community impact. Every ticket directly supports the transformative programs and services of Redwood Community Services, making a lasting difference in the lives of individuals and families across our region. What's in store, you may ask? Savor craft beer and wine and a signature cocktail at their open bar, raising a glass for hope and healing. Enjoy mouth-watering dinner by Cook's Barbecue. Uncover hidden gems in our wine pool and live auction, and dance the night away to music from Wayward Jerry, Chad Bushnell, and Billboard #1 country duo Love and Theft. A lineup that guarantees a night to remember. Tickets are $100. Or gather your crew with a VIP table because giving back should feel this good. Reserve your spot now at redwoodcommunityservices.org/cowboyball. That's Redwood Community Services/Cowboy Ball. Let's ride into the future where every person in our community has the support they need all together. Hey there, everybody. If you need to get your hair cut, I have the place for you. That's Pure Blends Barbershop, voted best barbershop in Lake and Mendocino Counties 3. That's thrice years in a row. Call to book an appointment, 707-472-6097. Jesse and his crew will fade you up and get you right for the rest of this short summertime we have left. So go to Pure Blends Barbershop, tell them that the boys from Like It or Not sent you down there, and support the people who support the show. My name is Carter Lane.
I'm Drew Nickel.
Welcome to the show.
Whether you like it or not.
Oh my God. I think you have a problem, bro.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh my goodness. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Like It or Not.
Yeah, here we go
That's
again.
Drew. I'm Carter, and with us today is America's Most Wanted.
Yeah, the big bad wolf of Mendocino law enforcement here, dude. What up, dude?
I'm expecting someone to come in with a search warrant any minute now, man.
Yeah,
this is a setup, isn't it? You guys like
This is going to be a 3-minute podcast, dude. You got to go, dude. I saw him waiting down on the corner, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's been a while, man.
Yeah, no.
Glad you're here. Glad you're in town. Glad we could connect.
Yeah, no, I made sure that I hit you guys up. I wanted to get this part 3 going.
That's
Yeah,
right, dude. We got to do
pull
the
that a
trilogy.
little closer to your mouth.
Oh my bad. That's what
We got to do the trilogy for sure. So the first one you did was
On Zoom.
and we didn't do video then. And
You
then
were
the
in-
second one was here, right? But
Yeah, the first one was when I moved to Orlando, and I was just starting the YouTube thing on Zoom, and then the second one was 2022 when I was running for sheriff.
yeah,
That's right.
the first one you were. That's when you started making your big splash, dude. Right? You started your podcast, or not podcast, but YouTube channel.
When I started pissing everybody off, yeah.
Yeah, we're like, I was like, we definitely got to get this guy on our podcast, dude.
Yeah.
Somebody else.
We have
pisses off
something in
everyone?
common?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
It's like a weird alternate universe.
I know.
But you're back.
I'm back,
For
for a few days.
Short time.
Yeah, like I was telling him, I needed a break.
You live in LA now.
From LA, yeah, like downtown Hollywood.
Fuck.
It's
dude.
chaotic.
Fuck that.
It's
Bro.
chaotic. Yeah, fuck that for sure.
Are you still living there, or are you leaving?
For now,
Yeah.
I've been there for a year and a half, and I just didn't know any better, you know. Like, there's some decent locations out there. You
Yeah.
have, like Burbank, Pasadena, Glendale, and stuff like that, but I was like, oh, I'm just going to go move downtown Hollywood. It's where all the action's at. But it's nothing but crackheads, tourists, just nonstop.
You're like, it'll be easy to find a hooker.
It's super easy if you want to, yeah.
Crackheads and tourists, my two kind of favorite people, dude.
Peas in a pod, really.
Yeah.
That's California in a nutshell.
Essentially, yes.
You know what I mean?
That pretty much summed up the entire
Tourists are like,
demographic,
man,
yeah.
there sure is a lot of crackheads here in California. And we're like, well,
The crackheads are like, what the fuck are these tourists doing around here?
Thanks, Gavin Newsom.
Yes.
Oh, man.
So
you
you-
could have gone all day without mentioning that fucking
Okay,
name.
we'll talk about him later, or not at all. But I'm curious more about your Hollywood experiment. So, so you've been getting acting gigs and like
Yeah.
doing all that. How's that? You enjoy that?
Yeah, dude, I wanted to do it since I did space back here when I was like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, I did a lot of community
Space
theater.
alumni.
Shout
Yeah.
out to space.
Yes.
And then at Ukiah High, I was pretty involved in drama and stuff, but I was such a piece of shit back then with no direction. I didn't know what I was doing, and so obviously I didn't, growing up around here, there's no opportunities for anything.
Yeah.
And then eventually I just did what everybody told me to do, right? Go to college, get a career, buy a house.
Yeah.
Be a cop.
And it was terrible. Yeah, so I was like, that sucks.
God damn, this isn't good at all.
Dude, I was sitting
This ain't no
around,
motherfucking American dream.
I was sitting around in my baller house in Brook Trails, man, with my Range Rover, my Corvette, my cop job, and I was just sitting there by myself, and I'm like, man,
Surrounded by indoor grows.
this fucking sucks, dude. This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. It's just not fulfilling whatsoever. So then, when I was in Texas running my PI company out there, I had just, random opportunity in LA and a series of events that occurred to where I had to really think about what I was doing, and I still wasn't happy doing that. So I'm like, you know what am I even doing here? Who cares? So I, again, for the millionth time, sold all my shit in a month and drove to Hollywood. Yeah.
And that's when you landed the Morgan Wallen video.
Yeah, that shit was funny, man.
Wait, you're in a Morgan Wallen video?
Yeah, dude, pull that shit up.
Yeah, we definitely got to see that.
It's called I Need Some Help. Morgan Wallen, Post Malone.
Oh, yeah. I think I saw this.
Yeah, I'm the white bald guy.
No.
With all the tattoos?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They didn't have to put makeup on you or shave your head?
No. That's like the nicest dude I've ever met in my life, by the way.
Morgan Wallen?
No.
Post Malone?
Post Malone, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, super cool.
No,
Yeah.
no, not Morgan Wallen.
Well, because we had to have a lot of interaction with him, you know, because of the whole like stunt aspect of that 2 different times, and just super cool, like regular ass guy.
Yeah.
So-
Seems like it.
What
Yeah.
timestamp can we go to? I know you know exactly where you are in this video.
I actually don't. It's the first scene. It's 3 different parts. Like, yeah, keep going a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like right here, just keep it right here. That's my homie Brandon, the guy with the beard. And
In the
there's-
ponytail?
Yep, and there's me right there.
Oh,
I see you back there, dude. Looking like trouble.
But then you skip to the part, then we go take him off the table.
He tossed this motherfucker out of the bar?
Dude, they played this song for 13 hours straight, bro. It was crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, back up. A
So
little
do you get paid every time this fucking thing plays?
bit. I'm right then, and there's me.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude, get that fucker out.
Hell yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
Doing some bouncer shit, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Bouncer number 1, bitch.
Numero uno. You
It's
know.
too bad music videos don't have credits at the end, you know?
Yeah, just
They
on
got your name
IMDb.
on
On
it.
IMDb, I'm attached to it, but aside
so-
from that, yeah,
That's dope.
So,
Was it fun?
it was like one of the best times of my life, dude.
yeah, fuck
Really?
yeah, dude.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
rad.
Yeah,
I'd be like lighting Post Malone cigarettes for him and stuff. It's just
yeah.
I'd be trying to make a song with him, dude.
that's even better, dude. I'm glad you thought of that.
I think
I didn't think that.
I'll let you drink the Bud Lights with him while I...
But I drink Bud Light, dude. Fuck that.
Yeah, it's been it's been crazy, dude. It's like one of those things where you don't know anything about it. You just go there and you just figure it out. You know what I mean? And thankfully, I'm not some naive 18, 19-year-old, so I have some life experience and kind of navigate all the BS. But still, it's a crazy.
There wasn't some like fat slobby guy who's like, "Hey Trent, come sit on my couch here. I'm gonna tell you how you."
Dude, I wish
star.
because that would have expedited my career.
Yo, I would have done it, dude. I would have done it, dude.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
not
not
saying I
What an
wouldn't have.
opportunity, dude.
My man, dude. I knew it.
No, just kidding.
I know.
But seriously,
No, but really, if you're out there,
Yeah, if
you
there's
know,
anybody out there.
it could work.
everyone's doing it. You know?
So, do you have like an agent and a manager and shit?
Right. So I've gone through 2 managers. I have a commercial agent. I had a theatrical agent in LA and another one in Atlanta. At one point in time, I had like 4 reps.
It sounds like they would take all your money.
You have to. I actually got good ones right out the gate. I did my research, but some of them are
P.I. did
will
his
do that.
research, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're all digging through their trash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sending your buddy over there with binoculars.
Yeah. It's a weird industry though, bro, because you move there and that's what everybody tells you to do, right? Oh, you just go get an agent. So I'm like, cool. So my first 2 weeks there, I'm like, I'm just gonna get an agent. I'll be fucking famous and shit, right? Not to that level of being naive, but. I got signed with my second week there with the manager and then talent agent right after, but it's because of my look. I'm very distinct. Plus, they liked my background of being law enforcement and private investigations and all that stuff.
Yeah, you can look legit in certain.
Also fighting because I did MMA for like 7 years. So there's a lot of things, and I have an M1 license. I ride motorcycles and shit. So there's like a lot of things that I can bring to the table, right?
Sure.
But they also don't tell you that if you don't have a name, you bring no money to the table. It's a fucking grind. It is one of the most heartbreaking industries or careers I've ever seen in my life, dude.
Sure.
It's depressing as shit. But yeah, I got a lot of shit really fast, man. Like I was just working on a lot of stuff. I've been on, movies, TV shows, music videos. I just did that Demi Lovato one. And it's been crazy, yeah.
So because you aren't have a name, like you're not famous, then people just kind of take advantage. Like they're like, pay him peanuts, he'll do that anyways, and then
No, it's more like getting the big starring roles, like in the blockbuster movies, like Tom Hanks or Tom Cruise, shit like or Austin Butler, right? They're gonna get at least a certain amount of money with that guy's name attached to it. So it's called building credits, building your resume till you get to that point, which is what I've been doing essentially the last year and a half,
Right.
to where you can start to get Now, I've been in the room a lot of times, man, with like shit that would have changed my life like overnight.
You were close.
Yeah, man. I had a badass audition, dude, like the first month I was there with those guys that did Sounds of Freedom.
Yeah.
And they were doing another movie down in like Africa. And it was like I was going to get flown out for like 5 months, like multi-million-dollar production. And somehow my agent got me a fucking audition for that. I'm like, dude, I've only been here a month. This is easy as shit. And then I didn't get that one, right? Because I'm a nobody. I had no resume at the time. I had like one headshot. And then you get a series of those. You have to get really used to rejection. And there's a whole wide variety of reasons why people get roles over others. But it's hard, man. It's hard as fuck.
I bet, dude.
Yeah.
There's like a whole like club you got to get in to be in some of that shit.
It's all networking too, man. I have some good connections now, but it took like a long time.
Well, it's like all of the aspects all together, right? You have to have your resume to be able to sell yourself. You have to have the looks in the package. You have to have the connections. You have to have like all of these things to make it like work out, right?
Yeah,
or you just get a stroke of luck.
It's a lot of luck too, man, or destiny or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But
Yeah.
you have to have a resume, good credits. They want to see that you have reps, that you're not some weirdo. It helps if you're part of SAG. You know, that's the union there, which I am now, but that was a pain in the ass to get into, you know what I mean? And so, there's this whole thing to it for sure.
Yeah.
But
So you're going to keep pushing that, see how far you can take it, or are you kind of burn out on that?
well, like I was telling, no, I mean, I love it to death when I actually get to do it. But like I was telling him, the whole industry is ceasing to exist in LA, dude, and it's going elsewhere.
Yeah.
So
weird.
Yeah, super weird. It's like California goes out of its way to destroy itself, man.
Totally.
We're like our own worst enemy.
It's the snake that eats its own tail.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and but you know, all these studios are going out of state now, like New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Texas, Kentucky, like Louisiana, like all these other places because of the tax incentives, man. And it's just cheaper, and they can do stuff for half the cost or less. So, yeah, I'll probably dip out, go to East Coast and the Carolinas. They're filming a lot of shit there too.
So you can move somewhere else, but still do what you're doing.
Yeah, man. Because like, what else am I gonna do? Go back to being a dorky ass cop, getting fucking citations and shit?
Well, you're doing like the private investigating stuff too, right?
I stopped that a while back.
Oh, so you're not doing that at all anymore?
Yeah, it was like a lot of infidelity stuff, dude, and it was very lucrative. It was the most
I was gonna
money
say.
I've ever made in my life, if you know what you're doing. But like, you get tired of that shit really fast.
You could get a job working for like the Scientologists. Like, have you, you know what I mean?
What?
Have you heard of this? Like, they hire PIs to fuck up all the people that leave Scientology.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, they're very vindictive. They
got cheddar, dude.
Oh yeah.
Would it be?
They got Grant Cardone over there making them hell cheese, dude.
Would it be? Would it be in your wheelhouse to like do some research for like a documentary, like with your PI like background and stuff, to like be able to like do investigative journalism for movies or something like that? You know what I mean? Like maybe there's a fit in there for you.
I could do a lot of things. It's a matter of if I want to or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fucking A, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Fucking go for it, dude. Sell all your shit and move across the country again.
I learned to not own anything, dude.
Yeah.
It
Like,
just holds you down. Like,
it does.
look
Just your
around,
guns in
dude.
your car,
This
bro.
is all getting purged.
I got rid of those when I left Texas, man. I was like, I'm not going to cross this imaginary line into California and then have like some nerd ass cop arrest me for something that's not a crime over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You buried them all in the desert and just waiting to go back. That's what I do.
I sold them all to the DA here, actually.
Dude, yeah, old Icer, huh? He's still the DA?
For now, his bitch ass is about to get recalled, man.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, like they recalled Gavin Newsom. Mm-hmm.
Well, the fact is that, back in, dude, since I started YouTube, I've had all these people asking me, like, what to do? How can we fix this? How can we fix that? And I'm like, dude, the power's in the people. These are elected officials. You guys have a lot of say in what goes on. But somebody started a round of petitions. And at the time when I heard about it, I was like, that's not going to go anywhere. But it sounds like they got enough to get that process at least started.
Well, so didn't it kind of happen when, with Shamice Cubinson, was that her? And like,
I think that's when it gained some traction. Yeah.
and then he basically, she was like trying to tell him he couldn't spend money on certain things. And then he was like, oh yeah, you fired. And then it all went to court.
Yes.
And then he lost.
Yes.
And then whoever is associated with the other side is like, okay, now we're coming after you.
Well, she's an elected official, dude. You can't just remove her like that. You know what I mean? Like the Board of Supervisors doesn't have the authority to do that. That was completely illegal on so many levels. And also to pursue a felony, quote unquote, felony level case, which didn't exist. And they proved that based off of your emotions because your feelers got hurt.
Yeah.
But that's just par for the course, you know? I saw that when I was a cop, man. That's just like common knowledge. He would go after people that made him sad. You know, hurt his feelings. You go home and cry, then the next day he'd put a case on it.
I gotta live here, so I'm trying not to laugh at that. But
It's only me talking shit.
You forgetting who our guest is, bro?
You made him sad.
Ister's watching this. He's like, keep it up, Drew. Keep it up,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
is there an H in that last name, motherfucker?
Yeah, at 14:51, Drew laughed at Trent making fun of me.
Yeah. Right. Keep laughing, motherfuckers. Dude, the other thing that because I've been watching your channel, dude, a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. And the stuff that was like driving me nuts was what's this clown that cost the city of Ukiah like $3 million?
Kevin Murray?
Dude, Kevin Murray. What in the world? Like,
dude, that guy's just
the biggest piece of shit on earth, dude.
Besides Newsom.
It's a close tie.
It's a close tie, dude.
At least he's only ruining like a portion of people's lives.
Yes.
Like Gavin Newsom is ruining like millions.
Everybody's
right?
life in California.
But yeah, no, this guy's terrible.
But like,
yeah, him, yeah.
This is so crazy. Like we put it in Chat GPT on this podcast once, and we're like, all together, like how much did this guy end up costing the city of Ukiah? And it was like $3 million.
Yeah, Chris Roscoe was like the first guy. I did a video on that back in the day where he just violated the shit out of his rights and beat him with an inch of his life. Some old disabled veteran, like basically booted his door, violated his Fourth Amendment on body cam, and just started punching his ass.
This dude did that to
this guy. Yes.
What's his name again?
Kevin Murray.
This
Kevin
guy's
Murray.
Kevin Murray. And then there was another one in there that with that hooker where he broke into her hotel room and shit. Yeah, and then that's when he lost his job, and they searched his locker at work, and he had like methamphetamine in there. And the most recent.
Okay, what kind of a fucking cop would keep meth in their locker?
The kind who's gonna confiscate it, snort it, and then go into a hotel room with a hooker, dude. That's who.
Yeah, Carter, get with the time.
Dude, you don't know how this works, bro.
Sorry, I asked a question, guys.
Hey, it shows your innocence, dude.
They covered it all in the academy. You just had to be there.
I'm just saying, I've been a drug addict, and the number one rule is not bringing fucking stuff around cops. And why would you bring it into a locker?
You want to know the real reason though? Like it's complacency.
Yeah,
it's you get away. That was the same thing with my old lieutenant Derek Hendry that got fired and then got investigated by the feds. Is you get so complacent with getting away with things for so long, your egos. There's a lot of these guys have inflated egos, you know that. So it's like they just think that they're untouchable because you've been doing some shady shit for 10 plus years.
Yeah,
they just stop caring, and then you get sloppy, and then you end up like this dipshit, and like the rest of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fucking
former UPD Sergeant Kevin Murray facing 16 months in sweetheart plea deal that skirts trial on sex charges.
Yeah, thanks, Eister, for
That's
that fucking
for 3 years ago,
too.
though, right?
Yeah.
What did he end up getting? Like, where is he at now?
He got 2 years of probation. That's long up, dude. He should have been registering as a sex offender, and I mean, it was a few different felonies, dude. I mean, he should have gone to prison.
Yeah,
for sure.
And not just that, but like he kept getting rehired by like different organizations. It was like when you were telling it, I was just like,
well. So when this first happened, it was like Eister was very vocal about it, and he's like, "I'm going to throw the book at this guy." And then what was very interesting is that when it came time for like sentencing and stuff, he offered this deal out of nowhere, which pissed off everybody. And I don't know if you guys remember, but there was like a bunch of people in front of Ukiah Courthouse protesting.
That seems like a good thing to actually protest in front of.
It was great. And then, but because of that,
opposed to what, Drew?
Well, but so that's why I say the power's in the people. Like, but it caused them, the prosecution, to go back into court and, ask the judge, like, hey, can we, revoke this deal, this plea deal? It's like, no, it's already done. So it didn't get anywhere in the long run. And then like this most recent one, the city paid out $1.75 million against one of my old partners, actually, that's a girl, because he sexually violated her back in the day at a hotel room. Yeah.
Millions.
Dude, that shit just makes me so fucking angry. And it's just like, it's not hard. I mean, to look at people's, this keeps happening, and you keep hiring the same piece of shit, and then it's just, we're paying out millions and millions. It's like, we don't just have that laying around here, obviously.
Definitely not.
You know what I mean? That's like valuable money that you're just throwing down the. I don't know. It's crazy, but this guy is just nuts, and it's just such a. Like, the thing about it is, it's like the epitome. Like, this is like in a nutshell of like everything that you are talking about, and just like the obvious. Like, is it just dipshittery, or is it
Shittery. Or what?
Or just complete incompetence to like keep hiring a guy like this? Like, wasn't he a sheriff at one point, and then in Lake County, and then Ukiah PD?
No, so he's always been UPD.
UPD.
This guy has, yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know, dude. It's just crazy that they just can't figure it out, and I just guess they protect their own that much.
Yes. There's a wide variety of reasons why people get cop jobs here in this county. I was just out on the coast. The chief, Cervanka, he's from LA. I don't know why people in Mendocino County keep putting these chiefs from Los Angeles in positions like they did that for Willits too. My old chief, Fabian Lizaragua, who got forced to resign. But it's like, these guys don't care. They're not from here. They don't know how it works, but they come in and they do a terrible job, and then they leave just to collect some additional retirement. But in Fort Bragg, he just resigned recently because there's been a whole bunch of issues over there too with that cop shop, and them covering up for their guys and not doing their internal affairs investigations properly or by the book. So I'm not going to name any names who started this, but essentially they're going to be hiring an outside investigator to come in to the police department there and look into everything, essentially an audit, but it's going to be IA focused, right, on the investigations involving cops there stemming
What's
from
IA?
Internal affairs investigation. So you get a complaint against you from a member of the public or something you potentially did as a cop that's illegal. Internal affairs investigation, right?
Right.
So they're going to have this outside investigator came in, and when that chief Cervanka heard about that, I think within the week, he's like, I'm resigning. I'm good. I'm going to go retire now. So it's just...
But that doesn't protect him from the investigation and what he potentially
keep him from getting fired.
Did or didn't do. Keep him from getting fired. But
he knows. He sees the writing on the wall, and you can only cover up for your guys and yourself for so long. But that's what's happening at all. Look at Willits PD, man. Like, since I left that place, everyone was fired. Everybody. Except for like 2 dudes. It's crazy. Like,
you think you had something to do with that?
I tried to.
I hope so.
You see my YouTube channel, dog?
Yeah. Some of them, they just did it to themselves, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's just par for the course. It's just a matter of time sometimes.
It is weird though that Mendocino County seems to attract like the people that got like cast away from wherever they originally were, and then they come hide here, and then because they have some kind of background in it, they get these jobs. We just had someone on here saying like the lady that's running Redwood Children's Services came from a cult in Las Vegas, dude, and it was just like,
yeah, she's a housing coordinator. She's not running it, but yes.
I mean, but still, dude, it's just like,
how are they coming here to hide?
Yeah, why are they coming here to hide, dude? It's like,
you had her on your podcast.
We had a woman on our podcast that basically called this. What was her name? I can't remember her name.
Jennifer McQuaid.
Jennifer McQuaid, who's like some housing coordinator here for Redwood Community Services. And then they put on the news like she was basically arrested and in a cult with this dude from Dances with Wolves, and what's his name? Nathan Chasing Horse, dude. Yeah, bro, I know.
Drew.
Could it be any more ironic, dude? I mean, I just had to, since we're talking about,
I'm not a part of this. This one time,
part is like,
nope, you're on the podcast, Trent. Sorry,
I got to go back to LA after this. So can't be having that.
It's just like, who knows how many more of these weirdos are like hiding around.
Well, it's out of desperation, and that's what I was just talking to one of my friends about in Fort Bragg. It's like, it's such a removed rural place, like just removed from the rest of the world and society. That's why so much crazy shit can go on here.
But
and
does
not
that
get looked into. But
does
then you get
that
desperate.
happen in other small places like this? Like, is this
I don't know, man.
atypical for rural places? Rural.
It's very it's more commonplace, I think, than people realize.
But we've always had crazy fucking people in Ukiah.
Yeah.
Let's just get that straight. Like, there's been fucking
Like Jim
murderers,
Jones?
like fucking Jim Jones, like the dude who used to work at Masonite who fucking killed people. You know what I mean? There's always been crazy fucking killers and nutballs here.
Yeah.
And I think that's not typical. What are you laughing
This
about?
is killers and
Jim
nutballs. Yeah, he looked at that. He's like,
Fucking A.
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's Elvis, but anyway.
Drew's all, look what I got at the thrift
Resembles-
store.
yeah, Elvis.
It's Elvis. I'm like, that's Jim Jones, bud, but whatever.
Yeah. No, there's definitely some crazy stories that have come out of this county for sure.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does weird shit to you, man. I mean, I don't know. Like, look at Covelo, man. That's a crazy fucking history too, with law enforcement. The more I got into that world too, when I was living there and heard about all the things. I mean, they had 2 books written about that place, right? Like, it's just insane.
Yeah, so the books, one of them is like the history of Covelo. Like, it's been one of the most violent. Wasn't it like home to one of the most like violent Indian or like native like massacres or something like that?
Yeah, so it's called Genocide of Vendetta. It's probably like $1,500 on Amazon right now. I actually have a copy of it. And then the other one, which is the history of Covelo, discusses the Trail of Tears, which the Native Americans were marched over in the 1800s from Chico, and then just a lot, massacres, and all the tribes got forced together once they got to Covelo, and just crazy story.
And they didn't get along.
They didn't get along. It's like they'd never seen another tribe before, and it's like all the white settlers. It goes over into that story, and then the other one's called The King Around Valley. It's about $25 on Amazon, and I own that too. And it is very interesting. If you guys are curious, it's a fictionalized retelling of Shannon Barney, one of my old lieutenants, Jason Cox, who's now dead, Brett White, who's now dead, and Eric Gore, who's now dead, when those guys lived out there as resident deputies. It's kind of they made a story about it. And I looked into this, right, because how it's written, there's a lot of inside information, really, like how stuff's talked about that you would only know if you were someone like myself that worked out there for years as a cop. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? How it was written. So I looked into the author, right? Did my PI stuff, and he was using a pseudonym, so not a real name for, but his face was there. So I have some facial recognition shit. So I found out who this guy was. Long story short, some random old white dude lives down in Santa Barbara, never lived north of San Francisco, no affiliation to Mendocino County. So how did that happen? My theory is a cop that is no longer with us got together with him, Jason Cox, got together with him and collaborated to tell that story, because that was back in 2007.
He's like a ghostwriter or something.
Yeah, because back in 2007, that's when Deputy Jason Cox sued the sheriff's office and was talking about like all the wife swapping and felony stuff that all the cops were doing out there, because he got passed up for promotions and also for not being involved in that swinger stuff, and ultimately lost his job unjustifiably so. So he won his job back, but the whole case was sealed by Judge Nadell in, quote, the best interest of the public and the sheriff's office, meaning to protect the reputation of the SO, because what would happen if all that came out? But anyway, that book is essentially based on what those guys were doing out there. It's pretty crazy.
And so didn't one of them commit suicide? And how they all end up dying?
Two of them, yeah. Fucking Brett White shot himself in the head. But dude, if you talk to everybody that's lived in Covelo for years and years and years and how that shit went down, it wasn't a suicide.
It was an Epstein.
It was, yeah. Everybody.
Hey, you like my new word?
So there's actually articles written about this if you look into it deep enough, and so everybody thinks Shannon Barney killed his ass, or assisted him in that, right? Because at the time too, Tom Ullman, I think, was the lieutenant of the North Sector, and Broyne was the interim sheriff at the time, who's actually a good dude who got fucked over because he wasn't in the Tom Ullman club at all. But the sheriff's office got inundated with people hitting them up, emails and phone calls about how Brett White didn't kill himself. And they looked into that. And it's actually, there was an article written in 2010, Broynes quoted in saying, we're not ruling this as a suicide right now. Like, they're still investigating it. Now, I've been to a million suicides as a cop. I've seen every way that somebody can die up close and personal. The only way you would say something like that is if it potentially looks like a homicide. It's very specific, right? And then but he supposedly shot and killed himself at his house in Covelo. And then Eric Gore, there was a he like kind of lost his mind and got demoted to the jail after patrol. Because when all that wife swap shit came out, Shannon Barney got sent to the coast. Eric Gore got sent to the jail, I think. And then Brett White, that's what happened to him. Jason Cox got to stay on patrol, and I worked with him for a while. But then Eric Gore shot and killed himself at his apartment on Wall Lane.
Yeah, I remember when that was in the paper.
Yeah. And then Jason just recently died, which sucked.
And you said you were on patrol with Jason?
Yeah, dude. And I had talked to
he was a decent dude.
He was, dude, and he was a really good fucking cop, man. Because when I got really established with the community in Covelo, like, they'll let you know who sucks. Like the business owners, the people on the reservation and stuff, they'll tell you what cop sucks, who's a piece of shit and who's not. And it was very consistent that he was a good dude. Because he lived out there for like 5 years, from 02 to 07, I think.
Dude, I just ran into somebody. I can't remember who it was or what the specifics were about it, but they told me, they were like, oh, yeah, they like totally loved you.
Oh, cool.
They were like, yeah, he used to be a cop in Covelo and work in our community and blah, blah, blah. And was like, yeah, he was a super good dude. I can't remember who that was, dude. That's crazy. But
I got really close with everybody out there. So.
Yeah.
Even it could have been a guy I arrested, dude, to be honest with you.
Right.
Yeah.
They just
like, even after I left law enforcement, I had people still hit me up that I had hooked up, arrested, and thanked me because they ended up getting off of dope. They got their kids back, stuff like that. So, yeah.
Wow, yeah, Covelo is an interesting place, and now, like, with the whole pancaking of the cannabis industry, it's just like, who knows what's in store for Covelo out there.
Yeah, I love that place to death. I always will. I'm probably going to go out there this weekend while I'm here and see, because I have a lot of friends out there still. But yeah, it was crazy, man. I remember I started working out there in 2015, but like I think 2017 and 18, that's when I remember I was driving in my stupid patrol car down Howard Street, dude, and I started looking around and I'm like, who the fuck are all these people? That's when like all these randoms just started coming into town. And then I saw over the next 2 years, like all the grows just blow up, man. That's when we started to get the wars, the battles, the kidnappings, homicides in broad daylight, all the major problems. Dude, I had a guy get smoked in his head, behind my house when I lived out there over just weed bullshit, broad daylight.
Just because it had a reputation for being the Wild Wild West and they could just get away with whatever the fuck they were doing? Is that like...
Yeah, but dude, I mean, that's like anywhere in Mendocino County, man. We had a lot of homicides up in Laytonville. You get up into Bell Springs Road, Spy Rock, where a lot of stuff doesn't get reported. I got in with some people up there too, man. They've been growing weed out there since like the 70s. And a lot of those places just handle their own shit. Like you go out there and try to rip them off. Because we had those guys coming up from the Bay Area doing like Google Earth, seeing who has crops, and then going out there. And some of those guys didn't make it back home, and we never got a report on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know.
You fuck around and find out with hill people, bro. Like, don't do it.
Exactly, dude. And it's not like you don't stick out around here.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a van with like 10 black guys in it, filming a rap video in Home Depot parking lot, and then
Drew is out of control, bro. He's all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
No, dude. You can. I'm sorry. I'm not. Say what you want, but the reality of it is,
you just said what you wanted.
You see the people that get arrested, they're driving. Dude, it's in the paper, dude. They drive through town.
All right, guys, I gotta go.
They drive through town, right?
Jesus.
You hear the sirens. Anything that happens. Hold on, I'm gonna finish this.
Where are you going, dude?
I'm just saying, anytime you see action of like armed robberies, cannabis stuff going on, the cops arrest people. They're like, this is who we're searching for. So many times it's people out of the city from Oakland coming up here, like, just looking at shit, trying to rob people, dude. And it's like, I don't think those people realize that when they come up here, it's like, hill people know that you are not
from here.
From here, dude. It's pretty fucking obvious.
Yeah. So if you're looking at statistics, yes, I will agree with you. And here's the thing, and I can kind of compare this to being in LA or Hollywood, right? So if you get snatched up or kidnapped or shot or stabbed in where I live in Hollywood, there's going to be at least 75 people that see it. There's cameras everywhere. There's light pollution. Yeah. Someone's going to be a witness to that, right? Out here, dude, no one's going to know that you fucking failed to exist anymore. You know what I mean? And that happened a lot when I was living in Covelo, dude. Like, we'd get these parents that would call from the East Coast, New York and shit. Hey, my son, little Timmy, came out to work on a farm in Covelo. You know, they'd say the town wrong. And I'm like, a farm, okay. Like a fucking tomato farm? Like, what, you know, obviously he's on a weed grow, right? But they would come out grow season and just never get heard from again. Because a lot of those dudes up there were just, you know, it's like, what's better for business? Like, you know, these people know your operation. They know where your shit's at. Then also you don't have to pay them at the end of it. So what's better? Just kill them, throw them in a ditch in the national forest? It's like the Khadijah thing, dude. It's like, how do women on the reservation get abducted and never heard from again? And that statistic is so inflated and high. Well, look at the geography of that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Super easy.
Yeah, I watched your whole episode on that one. That was just like, it's just crazy. And then are they doing a documentary? Isn't somebody doing a documentary on that, or is that not?
I don't know. I've talked to I've done so many podcasts on that. I talked to some lady with the New York Times a couple months ago, and then some dude from Vice hit me up a month ago about it.
Is Vice still a thing?
Or he writes for Vice and The Guardian and some like big, you know, news outlets. But no, I mean, I don't know about a documentary.
Yeah.
They should.
They really should.
It's a crazy story.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there could be some silver lining and blessings to, like, you know, the cannabis industry changing the way that it is, because there's just so much like wild, wild west stuff. You wonder if that'll ever kind of settle. But you also think the more desperate people get, the less opportunity there are. You know, things can get weird in a whole different way.
Yeah, but out there in Covelo, it was a little bit different. You know, it wasn't like the people from the city didn't go out there, man. I think that they kind of knew better. Like, very rarely did that happen. Mostly it was like the Mexican dudes and the natives, or native and native, or, you know, that were at war, because you had the Mexican guys, you know, paying the natives to grow, you know, on tribal land. And then sometimes people didn't pay what they should, or they wanted more at the end. The deal didn't line up. And then that's how a lot of that shit happens, you know?
Mm-hmm. Plus, there's a lot of other places you can go to rip off weed than all the way out to Covelo.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a podcast talking about the homelessness here in Ukiah, and a few people from Covelo were like vocally irritated on some of the reels, just like, shut the fuck up, dude. Ukiah steals all the resources for like Mendocino County, and out here in Covelo, like, you think you don't have enough, you know, going on there. They were like, out in Covelo, we don't have shit. And I was like, well, you want to come on and talk about it? And they were like, yeah, but it never really materialized. But it would be cool to have somebody on from Covelo that kind of can speak to, like, just.
Wait, so they were mad about, so you were talking about homelessness being an issue, but there's resources here for homelessness. Is that and then there's not out in Covelo?
Yeah, I think just in general that Ukiah sucks up all the resources and Covelo gets left out in the cold.
I agree with that 120%.
That's what they were saying.
Fact. That's just a fact. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredibly neglected, and that's common knowledge for sure. Like, if you've you know, been out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be good to have. It would be interesting to have somebody come on and kind of talk about that perspective. You know, because it is kind of just like out there, lost and forgotten in Mendocino County, for sure.
Totally.
It is, man. And that just goes to, like, that was the reason I chose to move out there, you know, because I saw that nobody gave a shit about that community. And then, you know, I start to become really close with people, and I'm like, wow, just really nobody gives a fuck. So let me go out and sacrifice everything I can to try to help. You know, that was my whole motive at the time. Mm-hmm. It wasn't for my mental health. That's for fucking damn sure. So, or my safety. Yeah. But yeah, it's incredibly neglected, man. And that's they have a lot of righteous, justified complaints, dude. The only time they get anything even out of Matt Kendall is you have to have a collective of individuals out there that harass, essentially, the sheriff's office or somebody before something will get done.
Isn't he from Covelo?
Don't let that fool you, Drew. I'm so sick of hearing that shit, bro. Him and
You silly goose.
it's like,
Oh, Drew, you silly goose.
let me pitch it to you. And so
Yeah.
like him and Shannon Barney, that whole felony by himself, that's what they would get behind, right? Well, Drew and Carter, I can't hate Covelo. I have to love Covelo because I'm from there. What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you, Matt Kendall is not liked in Covelo. You can, again, I was on the ground talking to people.
Maybe
out there
that's
for
why he
years.
doesn't send shit out there.
Yeah, I can't, but it's like, so that's what he hides behind, that saying. That's going to take him far, just like Trent's disgruntled, right? That's all he's ever going to say. It's not like, what am I lying about? There's no specifics behind any of these things. And that's what I said in one of my videos when I was talking about watching your guys' shit. I'm like, what is he actually saying? He's saying a bunch of fluff, speaking in generalities and very ambiguous, right? So, but yeah, he doesn't give a shit either, man. I still talk to people out there, and I'm like, hey, is Kendall doing anything for you guys? Nope. Still got to harass him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
What is the population made up of? I know there's a huge native population.
Mm-hmm.
And is there still a big population of ranchers? Like, are they still raising cattle and like things like that? Like, tell me about the population of.
So in my time, I
Covelo.
left in 2021 at the beginning of it out there, really, and it was like the vast majority was Native American, and then you had a huge shit. If I had to break it down, dude, like 60, I could be fucked off on this, 60% Native, and then 30% Hispanic, and then 10% white, I guess. I could be totally off on
You
that.
could probably look it up. Can you look up?
I don't know when the last census was out there, but primarily, yeah.
Primarily native.
Native. Then you have the rancher dudes on the outskirts. And at the time, yeah, they were doing, ranch guy stuff.
Yeah.
Total population 1,394. That's got to be just like in the Covelo
In
city limits.
2020. Hey, I was close. Hispanic, 35. Native American, what? 27. There's no way that's right, dude.
Yeah.
37% white people,
I don't know who
which
did that.
Census,
which equates to 522.
that's census data, though. That's not that people aren't going to be in Covelo aren't going to be filling out census data.
No, that's the other problem, too. It's really hard to track,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And the population fluctuates so much. Back in weed season, it would spike, too, and some people would stay permanently to grow.
How many people are living in Round Valley in general? Can you see if they have Round Valley, California? Yeah. Because, if there's only 1,500 people out there, no wonder they're not getting a lot of resources, but that can't be the only reason.
I mean, I'll tell you the reason, dude. Like,
Okay, this isn't right. 482 people. Anyways, go ahead. Tell me the reason.
well, but okay. So sorry to go back to little Matt Kendall's shit too. It's like, I'm from Ukiah, and I grew up in Ukiah, right? But
Yeah.
if you would ask me in 2018, 19, and 20, like which community I cared personally about more, I would tell you Covelo. It's not that I didn't care about Ukiah, but you know what I mean? It's just like because you're from a place doesn't equate to anything. You know what I mean? It doesn't really make any sense. But the reason why is because, and this was just stuff you hear, man, from everybody, social services, cops, people that work in the district attorney's office. It's looked at as the Wild West. It's looked at being made up of mostly criminals, people that don't really matter. And because people don't ever go out there. Before I was a cop, I'd never once been there in my life. And I grew up in Ukiah, right?
Yeah.
So you just hear all these crazy stories. Every once in a while, like a fucked up news article about like a double homicide in Covelo. So people are afraid to go there. And so that's like how you develop that perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And then guys I'd work with, they're like, yeah, fuck, it's just Covelo. I don't want to deal with that shit. But that's how everybody begins to look at it because it is very rural, remote, and removed from society. It's just like, why? Why they look at it like, why would we go do that when Ukiah is the main hub for everything?
Yeah, that makes sense. Could you live like if you wanted to, if you're just like a regular person, just live a regular life in Covelo and not really like? Can you avoid all the bullshit, or is it just kind of come with the territory?
Well, and here's the giant misconception: Covelo is it can be a nice place to live, man. It's like
Beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful places in Mendocino County.
It is, and there's a small group of rascals out there, man, in that population.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of good good people out there, man, that just like are living their lives. But
I know some people have some beautiful homes out there.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
know?
for sure. But it's like you get 10% of that small population that causes all these problems because it's such a small place and
You
low
ruin
in
it for everybody
population.
else.
Yeah, everything blows up. Can it be dangerous? Yeah, dude. If you're from here and you decide to go walk onto some random property at late at night, it could be problematic for you.
Yeah, sounds like a bad idea.
But you could do the same shit up in
Right.
Laytonville, man, you
Right.
know, or Comshy or fucking, you know.
or San Francisco,
Dude,
or,
Laytonville has become a fucking ghost town.
dude, everything's closed in Laytonville.
Dude,
I know.
it's sad. There's nothing left there.
Ukiah is sad, dude. I remember I was here about
100%.
a year ago, and when I came back, I was like, "Why is everything closed?" I was like, "Where the fuck's the bowling alley?" I was gonna go get a drink at the office. The
Instead, you got some-
that shit's closed.
Yeah.
JCPenney closed, and I'm like, all these places are leaving, and I was like, "What the fuck happened to this place?" I'm like, "What do people even do anymore?" Because the weed industry doesn't exist. You know, back in the day, like. All throughout the 2000s, like everyone's just walking around with fat rolls of cash, you know, just slinging it out, and that doesn't exist anymore.
I know.
You know what I never see anymore? Not never. You know what I rarely see that I saw everywhere all the time is those fucking huge jacked up fucking hella nice trucks.
It's so funny you're going to say that. I was like, I miss the days of where everyone had jack trucks and their own T-shirt brand that made no money, dude. And they didn't give a fuck, dude. Everybody got a T-shirt, dude.
That's true, they did. Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like Mendo Roots, and
Yeah, yeah.
you know, it was just like,
Everybody got a T-shirt.
yeah, coming out the back of a really tall truck.
Yeah, they fucking gave that shit away.
I don't know though. Even if you could afford it, still, is it still cool to like jack up your truck and drive a lifted truck around?
I don't know if it was cool then, bro.
Yeah, that's kind of my point, dude.
As long as it's not 4-wheel drive, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it's funny. They have like those $100,000 plus trucks, and then they'd be living in the hood in some shithole. You know what I mean? Some
Yeah.
of those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what people do here, man. It's rough. It's
Yeah, I will say though, the homelessness seems to have improved.
All right.
From my perspective,
we'll
just from
take it.
being around the last few days, I actually asked one of my buddies who's still a cop here. I'm like, "Where the fuck did all the homeless people go?"
And what did
they,
he say?
They got ran off these various locations. Like they're still around. It's just not.
They're
it's
hiding.
got spread out.
Yeah, yeah,
Creeks and rivers.
yeah. We had this one guy. What was his name? John McGowan. He used to be a district supervisor.
Yeah.
So, dude, at the sheriff's office, all the higher ups, if John McGowan called, it's because he was actually beating up some homeless guy under a bridge off of fucking Perkins Street, and we'd have to go out there, and we had to. Otherwise, Tom Allman's calling us or one of our supervisors because you have to go deal. You have to go whatever John McGowan's reporting. You have to go deal with it, right?
He was
But-
beating up homeless under the bridge.
Dude, it was weird as shit. He'd roll around with like one of his homies, like that's some random dude in a truck, and just go and roust all these homeless people. Now, some of them were illegally dumping in some of these streams, which is a major environmental issue. But sometimes they're just under a bridge minding their own fucking business. He'd go and jack them up, and then sometimes, like one time, he pepper sprayed them, dude. One of my partners took a report on that. He was actually going to send it to the DA's office to Eister against John McGowan, and that got shut down immediately because he assaulted this fucking homeless guy. But it's like, dude, you kick him out from under this bridge. Where are they going? Straight to Ukiah.
Right.
On the sidewalk now. And then now, instead of the SO, us, deputies having to deal with these guys, now UPD has to go deal with them. Then what do you do with them?
Send them back to the
Dude,
creek.
it's so funny.
That's exactly
because
what we did.
I would see John McCowan in creeks, like, but
Yeah.
the thing is like he's not in there in the daytime. He's like, I'd see him in there like in the night, in the early morning. So I worked at a real estate office on Mason Street, and it had like, you know, a bridge underneath it. And one morning, like I show up to work, and all of this stuff was piled up in the parking lot of the real estate office. And John McCowan was there, like dusting in his hands, like he just did God's work, cleaning out under the bridge.
Yeah.
And I remember the owner of the business was so pissed, like, you just piled all this bum shit in my in my fucking parking lot, dude. And it was like,
Yeah.
Well, that's weird, but it's 7:30 in the morning. What was he doing in there at 4 a.m.,
He was
dude?
smoking their drugs and getting to work, dude.
Working, putting up, dude. I don't know. It's strange.
I don't know. It was bizarre, dude. And I'm like, he's a civilian at the end of the day. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're just making it. I can't go to a serious call right now because I got to go deal with John McGowan under a fucking bridge. You know, like that he's draining resources,
Bro.
and all of us felt the same way on the patrol level, and the sergeants did, but you couldn't do anything about it because all you had to do was call a lieutenant or the sheriff or the undersheriff, and then you have to go do it, right? It's just fucking ridiculous.
He's also the guy kind of responsible for just, I don't know, in my opinion, kind of fumbling the whole weed ordinance when it went legal. Everyone kept referring it to John, and I don't know. That just came out to be such a fucking disaster,
that didn't work out whatsoever.
I know, and that didn't age well, dude. But we don't gotta talk about
What
that.
was up with the UPD? Didn't they just rotate through a few different chiefs in a short amount of time? Like, haven't we been through like 2 or 3 after Wyatt left?
Dude,
Like, it seemed like Wyatt was
He was the one that came on our podcast.
he came on the podcast,
He seemed like a decent dude.
and then
No,
but he was only there for a short amount of time, and then he left, and he was replaced by somebody, and they left, and they were replaced by somebody, and I think that person just
well, let's not forget
left.
old Noble Weidlich, dude. Kevin Murray's BFF that got straight fired for basically, making that one lady kind of do some stuff to him at her house in uniform, Yeah, he went over there on duty in uniform.
He was a chief.
As the chief. So Wyatt, Noble Weidlich, and Kevin Murray were all part of. Weidlich and Wyatt were part of the Kevin Murray conversation with that girl that used to be my partner, the one that just won that $1.75 million thing.
Oh, no,
and
really?
Neither one of them gave a shit. So he's wrapped up in that, and he's not a good
guy
dude.
then.
Did we ask him about it while he was here?
I'm sure he gave you a Matt Kendall answer.
I'm sure
I'm from Ukiah, so
Yeah, he gave
Well,
us
I don't know about that, but he definitely.
couldn't talk about it, right?
Yeah,
Or something,
we-
yeah,
You get-
you never can talk about it.
You get
can
politician
No.
answers.
Yeah,
sometimes,
yeah, you just can't talk about it because what's it going to do?
Yeah.
Make you look like shit, probably. Anyway, so Noble Weidlich, so he went over to that woman's house, dude, and I'm not going to say her name, but yeah, he according to her, he made her like give him oral sex, right? Right when he left, she called Tom Allman and said, "What do I do?" And then that whole thing transpired with the city and everything. And I don't know if there's still some lawsuit, but she like took that as high as it could go.
Did Tom Allman give her some advice to like?
Well, the rumor
go to
was
the-
they used to date. I don't know if that's true, but I heard that from everybody. I'm going to say that is a rumor, okay? But she did call him for sure.
Yeah.
And then now he sells.
I don't think I want to touch that one.
Now he sells insurance, dude, here in Ukiah. What's wild about some of these guys is
Noble
like,
Weidlich does.
yeah, think like State Farm and shit.
Weidlich?
Isn't that his name?
Weidlich.
Weidlich, dude. I got. Sorry.
So yeah,
Thought I heard you
yeah.
wrong, dude. I don't know.
I thought I said that wrong.
Whatever
dude.
happened to Wojciech? Remember him? Officer Wojciech?
I think he was a sheriff.
I just remember being drunk in Denny's one time. He was in there, and I was drunk. That's all.
That's a great story, dude.
Yeah,
Thanks, dude.
Good
Thank
story,
you.
bro, dude.
I'm on it.
Oh, also Denny's doesn't exist anymore, dude.
No.
Fuck.
We're getting a Habitat burger.
Habit.
Habit burger.
Yeah.
You ever had one? Are those in L.A.?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't eat burgers.
You don't eat burgers, dude.
I'd have to throw it up
This
immediately.
dude
I
eats
don't know.
fish.
That's the LA stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But yeah,
dude.
no, they've recycled several times, and now Tom Corning is the new chief, and he was kind of rose through the ranks really fucking fast because they just recycled all these dudes. So
Yeah, I was just wondering what was up with that.
Did we get a good one finally, or what? It only took 42 tries.
I've never really heard anything about him.
All right.
And negative. So
Well,
you
there
got
you
that
go.
going
Oh,
for you.
We got that
Trent
going,
Taylor
dude.
endorses the new Ukiah
No,
Police
well, he
Department
didn't say
chief.
that.
Whoa.
I didn't say that.
Coming from Trent. That's
Saying
a
nothing
fucking-
is
I
saying
just said
something.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks, I might throw a video. I don't know.
he's gonna do
Stay tuned.
do some PI work on that one, dude.
Yeah, it's funny, man. I have a couple people just stirring the hornet's nest around here, man, with the county and then also out in the city of Fort Bragg. But like these two people I talked to since I've been here, they're all worried about defamation lawsuits or slander lawsuits against people that they're going to be speaking out against, affiliated with the city or the county. And I'm like,
Why haven't you been slapped with one of those yet?
that's a great question. Maybe because everything I've said is factually accurate. So the only way that's what I mean. People don't know these laws. It's like the only way to get sued for defamation of character, slander, libel, whatever it is
If it's not true.
Yes, if what you're saying is not factually accurate and it's harming somebody's character or employment or something, then you can be sued. But yeah, dude, I would have been sued fucking years. In fact, I think Matt Kendall on one of your guys' podcasts a few years ago, he vaguely alluded to the fact that he was going to be dealing with me at that level. But to this day, I have yet to have been served with any paperwork, which is weird because I've been like fucking that guy's program up for a long time. And I know I'm a thorn in his side, even though he comes on here and acts like that's not true, but it's definitely true. So yes, if they had something against me, I would have been sued for sure.
Yeah, well, fair enough. And I think the other thing about it is like if you're going to sue somebody for those types of things, there's like a whole discovery process. So is what they're saying not true? All right, well then let's do some discovery.
That was my other point. And yes, that is the other Zeke Flatten, the guy that got robbed by the Runner Park cops in Hopland and shit. He's one of my best friends, but that's what he said. He said that years ago. He's like, Trent, if they try to come at you with a civil suit, then guess what? You have access to all their shit, and they're never gonna fucking do that. Well, because I would never put myself in that position to, and also I'd say way crazier shit, dude. I could get so creative. I'd have ChatGPT create something insane that these guys are doing. You know what I mean? Like what I'm saying is not that over the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, discovery. I would have access to all their shit.
So is this what you told your buddies who are worried about coming out?
Yes.
Against people?
I was like, dude, just look at me. Case in point. No one's ever going to do anything. It's as long as what you're saying, you can back it up. You have some witnesses to it. You have documentation to it. You know what happened. You're good. Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is, and Matt Kendall says it himself, like if you're not doing bad things, you got nothing to worry about. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like
they're all worried though, bro.
Especially,
don't let him fool you. Don't let him fool you. Like
you silly goose, Drew.
If you're not getting liquored up,
Drew's back on his bullshit again, man.
I'll sip some Haterade over here and get back on it.
You silly goose.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, bro. Like that whole Marcus McCarty, that deputy in Willits that drove his cop car drunk to the fucking to the bar and
What
shit.
an idiot.
It was funny because Matt LaDouche, he fucking when he put out that Matt LaFever. When he put just that guy's a pile of shit, bro. I'm gonna say that. I hope everybody hears me. Like he lies his ass off. Proven. Like he even wrote on one of his things, dude. Someone was calling him out, and I've said this before too. He's like, it's up to the public to choose to believe what I'm saying. It's like, bitch, you're doing some massive fucking damage to people and their characters with fabricated false information, biased, going off of emotions, dude. He did that to me too when I ran for sheriff. You know what I mean? But when Matt LaDouche put out that article about that initially, and by the way, that only came out, I'm gonna tell you right now, because there was a bunch of people. There was people in the bar. That was like a publicized fucking incident, man. That was going to get out. So how do we get ahead of these things so that Matt Kendall and Quincy Cromer don't look like they're hiding shit? Oh, well, we're transparent. Let's fucking hit the news circuit and just say this is what happened, yet leaving a bunch of things out. So when they first put out that article, LaDouche said that Marcus McCarty, he didn't name his name, stayed the night at the establishment, giving the impression that he didn't drive drunk. Right, but the investigation had already been concluded. I have the fucking video, dude. Like he went in there, got fucked up. He drove there drunk, and then when he came back in at like whatever 12:30, went in, drank some more, went back outside, pushed over that dude's fucking Harley. His girlfriend slapped him in the face, and he like fell down. And then she gets into his cop car in the driver's seat, right in front of the bar. He gets into the passenger side, and they fuck off back up Brook Trails, dude. But Matt LaDouche said that he stayed the night at the fucking establishment.
At the bar?
At the establishment, Drew. Because
That means bar.
if you get fancy with the verbiage, bro, it sounds like it's not that bad.
Right.
Like did he? So it's because what do you do when you go to a bar? You go to a bar to get drunk.
Right.
But how they phrase that, it's like he wouldn't be driving his patrol car drunk to the bar. No, he got kicked out earlier in the night, got a ride home. His truck wasn't there, so the only keys he could find was his fucking cop car keys, and he was like borderline blacked out drunk, then drove back to the bar, got more drunk. And then his girlfriend thought it was not a good idea to, who's been arrested for a bunch of shit before too, by the way. She was dating some non-reputable people in Covelo during my time out there. Probably a conflict of interest. But, and then like once I put out that video on it, about what really happened, then LaDouche did a different article and Matt Kendall came out and did a quote, about more detail on that. You know what I mean? That's kind of how that timeline went. But yeah, if you can't, and that's why when I was watching your podcast with Matt Kendall on here, and he's like, gosh, dang it, God, I just don't like this social media stuff. Like information traveled too dang fast. Well, you fucking, because you can't control the narrative anymore, dude. Like you can't, it shit's that fast and people have video and Facebook and Instagram and shit.
Right.
It's because it's damaging. Because you got annoying ass motherfuckers like me that's going to put out shit hella quick and there's no damage control he can do. Mm-hmm. You're fucked. So that's why he doesn't like it.
I just don't understand why he would want to cover for a sheriff doing that.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
You know what I mean? Like if I was a sheriff and someone did that, I'd be like, dude, now you're going in there, bro. With the rest of the people who do dumb shit like that.
I was talking to my buddy about this on the coast today too. And I've said this before. It's not necessary. So he likes that. He likes that kid, right? Marcus McCarty's a Covelo guy from Covelo, you know? And I know Marcus and his whole family, actually. I actually didn't want to do that video, but I don't play sides. Like, if you do stupid, insane shit, I'm going to say something about it, right? But it's to protect the reputation. It's always about the reputation.
Of the department?
Of the fucking department. Just like the Jason Cox shit I said back in 2010 when Nadell sealed that shit in the best interest of the sheriff's office. These guys, Tom Allman, Matt Kendall, will do whatever it takes to protect their reputation. How's it going to look? Let me ask you guys this. I'm big on this case too for years. I'm never going to let it go. The lieutenant on the coast with the kid porn thing. How would it look if your lieutenant was caught with watching child pornography at his house? That would fuck your whole situation, dude. There's no coming back for that, right? So they did what they did, and that's how you do a lot of these things. Because how's it going to look, dude, if you have a cop that's driving his cop car drunk to the bar, fucking hitting a guardrail, then letting his girlfriend drive home? That reflects on you poorly and your decision-making in hiring these guys, doesn't it? It's all about the reputation. It always has been. It always will be. It's not necessarily that they care, you know, about these guys. It's like Deputy Alex Tong that's been beating up every girlfriend he's ever had since he worked at the sheriff's office. And UPD, Wyatt was well aware of it. He even fucking put it in an article. He's like, yes, we're aware of prior disturbances involving this deputy. Okay. Well, why did he never get arrested or dealt with prior? Because, dude, that's going to look terrible. It was only because that one night, it was so bad that the neighbors who I've talked to had to come out and filmed it. I have the video on that too. Did something finally have to happen after 20 incidents, and then you can't control it anymore. Then they're being transparent and doing what they're supposed to do, right? No. There's all these issues that happened prior that nobody in the public knows about, right?
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, I can see not it wanting to get out to the public, but also then you need to deal with it, not like hide it or promote it or whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that same thing with like the priests. Maybe not like the same thing, but okay, here we go again.
Whoa.
Hey, everybody hold on.
Where's this going?
Yeah. But you know what I mean?
Bye,
Like,
Trent.
priests were getting in trouble, and then instead of like getting rid of the priest, they just moved them somewhere else and let them like keep doing it. It's like,
yeah, look at Shannon Barney. When the wife swapped shit, he just got taken out of Covelo and put to the South Coast.
It's like, okay, deal with it internally, but solve the problem. Don't just put them somewhere else to do the same shit. Like, why can't you just get rid of these people? You know what I mean? Like, if they're gonna make you look bad, like, well, if you move them somewhere else, like that dipshit, that cost the city $3 million or whatever. It's like, yeah, you move him around. He just keeps doing the same thing. Why do you keep this person here? Like,
Are they protected in some way by
Yeah.
some union or law or
like,
something?
why, dude?
Well,
Just get rid of these people.
So some of them are old relationships, dude. Like everybody knows everybody here, and it's like sometimes it's a friend or it's like somebody like a cop brother that you try to protect as much as you can, right? But yes, they are unionized. It is actually kind of challenging to fire a cop. There's a whole process. Even Alex Tong beating up his girlfriend, dude. Choking her out. He had
Seems
to go
like that'd
through
be a
whole
rap, dude. Later,
It is,
give me the badge and the gun.
Yeah, he's fired, but it's like there's a whole process you got to go through. And like Zeke Flatten too, the Rico case guy, he during his investigation into all this Mendo shit, dude,
That was the guy that got robbed for a couple pounds by some
3 pounds, yeah,
by
and
some cops.
He said, yeah, by Bruce Smith, who was one of my sergeants here, and Joseph Huffaker with Roanoke Park PD, and what the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah, so
protection that they
yeah, but
have.
so he kind of compared like the Mendocino County Sheriff's Office, the DA's office, like organizations like this to the mafia, where it's like these guys don't get along, but they cover for each other. Why? Because everyone has fucking dirt on everybody, dude. You know what I mean? It's like Bruce Smith, that second guy involved in that weed robbery, has never stepped foot in court. No indictments involving Mendocino County, which has a heavy involvement in that case. Why? Bruce Smith, I know for a fact, hated Tom Allman and Randy Johnson with a passion, dude. Actually, Bruce Smith was always trying to jam up Randy Johnson because he had weed grows on his property. But
were you saying Bruce Smith was the one flying around in helicopters
With
cutting weed down that had sheriff zip ties around him? Was that
yeah,
you in the
yeah,
video?
Yeah. They did that shit with my homies, dude. Like to piss off Tom Allman and Randy Johnson.
And then same guy stealing 3 pounds from somebody.
Well, it wasn't just that. It was they were doing that to. They were just building it up, right? You get 3 pounds off of this guy, 10 pounds. They were just running interdiction off duty, and you get good at that. Like it's really easy once you know what you're doing to pick out fucking dope cars that are moving either cash because they're coming up here to buy or they're heading south with the weight.
What do you look for?
That information costs money, Drew.
Asking for a friend.
I'll charge you 3 pounds. Yeah, asking for a friend. Yeah.
So how do you know?
But if Bruce Smith goes,
Yeah.
it's like, and then everyone's asking why now? Like, why they're going for sentencing finally after 8 years this October for the 2 Roanoke Park cops that were involved in that. But whatever happened to Mendocino County and Bruce Smith, everyone asks, like, why was he never indicted? Why is nobody else getting indicted in Mendocino County? Well, because if Bruce Smith goes, everybody goes that's attached to Mendocino County. And Tom Allman has some serious fucking connections, man, that goes up to like the Attorney General's office. You know what I mean? So, and he still is heavily involved at what happens at the sheriff's office too, behind closed doors. Because him and Kendall, dude, they've been working together for 35 fucking years. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's just crazy shit. What's wild to me is that some people don't believe any of this stuff, bro. I'm like, it's not even that far-fetched. You know what I mean? This is actually like a nationwide thing. In Texas, they had a couple different cop shops that got completely cleared out by the feds, like smaller ones, because they were just corrupt as fuck. It just ran rampant through that. So they had to come in and just everyone was gone, either fired or arrested. And that happens in a lot of areas. But yes, what should happen is what you said, where they should immediately deal with the situation, like that sheriff in Florida, Judd Grady or whatever, where he has a guy that fucks up or does something, and then he'll show his picture to the public and say, this is what my guy did, and he's been dealt with or fired or arrested or whatever.
Right. Like,
That doesn't go down here, though.
humans are flawed. If you hire employees, inevitably not all your hires are going to be great.
Yeah.
I've run businesses and made plenty of mistakes. So it's like, it seems to me the easiest way would just be like you said, this guy sucks, right? And he's been dealt with, and now we don't have to worry about that being an issue.
Sorry, we hired this piece of shit.
Yeah, or you don't even have to say you're sorry. Just like it's dealt with, and they're not here anymore. We're moving on. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well, and I think it's hard to attract people to Mendocino County to be cops, dude.
Yeah.
Like when I was a deputy here, I actually went to the Santa Rosa Academy in uniform with one of my partners to try to recruit people here. And they don't want to come here. If you're not from here, like you don't want to come out into the woods, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Unless you're trying to escape LA.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, straight up. Yeah. So it's like there wasn't much incentive. So it's like we're kind of getting almost the bottom of the barrel, or guys that have been fired from other agencies or done some nefarious shit. With the sheriff's office specifically, the guy that's running background checks there, Zohar Zaid, dude, he doesn't make the ultimate decision. That's going to be up to the undersheriff and the sheriff. But he gives a recommendation that is usually what they'll go off of, because they're the ones that look into it. But that's the guy that illegally tased 2 people when he worked in the jail, bro. He got demoted and then removed.
They had it coming, bro.
They lost a civil suit, dude, for violating some guy's rights because he was in handcuffs and he fucking on 2 separate occasions and fucking tased somebody because he's a little weird.
I mean, I 100% believe that, because if you go into any store here in Ukiah, you'll see the pool of people that you get to hire from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but but you have a guy like that that's judging you as getting hired as a cop, but he's making those decisions. It's like, of course you're going to get some shitty guys, dude.
He's hiring people that are going through his filter of what's.
Oh yeah, dude. And I've talked to some people that are fucking squeaky clean, bro, that would be good hires that got disqualified by that guy for personal fucking reasons, man. It's too bad, too.
It's too bad. But not all. I mean, there's a lot of good sheriffs out there, right? Mendocino County is like, do you feel like as a whole, the whole bunch is not good? Or there's just like mostly good people with a few bad apples in there spoiling it, and a lot of those bad apples get promoted? Or
so when my buddy Chris Awad and I ran our podcast, Two Fired Cops, for a while, we had a bunch of fucking dudes on from all over the country. Supervisor level sergeants, guys that were on task force, Florida, New York, Wisconsin, troopers, and the general consensus from 100% of these guys, once you get to the lieutenant level and up, it is nothing but corrupt bullshit. So I'd say all that across the board's fucked for the most part. They're promoting people that they know will be a yes man, do whatever they say, guys that they have dirt on, which is definitely applicable here. But they promote the wrong people that other guys that should be promoted over that, right? But that's the problem. I'd say like all that across the board shit, not just applicable here to Mendocino County, but like the street guys, that's a mixed bag, man. I've had some bad experiences with cops, dude. Like during my time and after a lot of them are fucking assholes, dude.
Yeah.
And also they're hypocrites. Like a CHP on the fucking coast just got arrested by Fort Bragg PD cop the other day for DUI, dude.
Right. And how many did he hand out?
That's exactly my point. Don't be a fucking hypocrite.
Right.
I wasn't like the best cop, dude, and my background's not clean. I'll tell anybody about it because I don't give a shit. No felonies or anything, but it's like, don't get people in trouble for shit that you do yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had some experience with my dad was a cop for a while and then got out of it, and when he was doing other stuff, he still was like friends with cops, right? Mm-hmm. And like the vibe and the energy of those guys was like, we do what the fuck we want.
Yeah.
It was just like, we're cops, and I'm gonna get drunk and let my fucking 13-year-old son drive me home like through the streets just because
when I was a when I was a rookie here, dude, some of the old guys would tell me that they gave me a piece of advice, dude. If I'd go to like the pub or some shit, get drunk downtown Ukiah, what they would do would call in a fake call to CHP. Like they'd be like, there's a TC, a traffic collision at the Green Bridge in Hopland. Like it looks fucking terrible. 2 cars involved. Fake call. Well, guess where all the fucking CHP guys are going?
God damn it, that's a good idea.
And then they're driving home to Potter Valley and shit, bro. Just fucking cruising, just drunk.
They wouldn't call in as cops. They would just pretend they were.
Fake, from like a block number. Like, hey, there's people hurt out here, and then they drive home. But that's
fuck. I wish I would have thought about that.
It's actually a good idea.
Really, dude. God, could have used that one a few times, bro.
See,
where you been?
Well, that's
Trent?
why a lot of these cops
Son of a bitch.
a lot of these cops make good criminals, bro, because they know how the whole thing works.
God, that makes
we had a fire battalion.
He's like, I'm going to the forest after this, boys.
So pissed about that, dude. That's a cheat code I didn't know about.
Forest.
I'll go with you, bro. Fuck it.
Let's all go.
Hey, let's go get a drink.
Yeah.
And then call in a fake accident.
I actually went there last time I was here a year ago to the forest.
How was it?
It was cool, bro. I had people come up to me. Hey, I like your shit. Thanks.
Appreciate
Let's
it.
get fucked up.
Yeah. Buy me a drink.
Yeah, I just had a few, but yeah.
We had the fire battalion chief on, and he was saying the same thing. Like the biggest arsonists in the world were all like fire lieutenants. You know what I mean? Remember that?
Yes,
He was like,
dude.
dude, all the guys.
Who was the battalion chief?
What was his name? Jason,
Justin.
come on, help us out.
Justin.
Wow, this is embarrassing.
I know, dude.
Why'd you have to ask
We're gonna have
that,
to edit
dude?
this out of the fucking podcast.
No, like it or not.
Buckingham.
right?
Justin
Yeah.
Buckingham.
Oh
what it
yeah, I sold his Amy's his wife. She's a nurse at Howard Memorial, and I
Yeah.
sold her son my house in Willits.
There you go.
Yeah, they're good people. Yeah.
He is a
hella
good
cool,
dude.
dude. And
Yeah.
he's the fire investigator for like
Yep.
the whole county.
Most of those fire guys are cool as fuck, dude. Like,
Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just saying that you say, they say cats out of trees, dude. They get
Bro.
the 5-finger wave. The cops get the 1-finger wave, dude.
At my shithole house in Covelo, bro. I lived in that shitty stabbing cabin built in the 50s with no insulation on Cal Fire property. Yeah, so like all the Cal Fire dudes and firefighters during the season, they'd be there all the time, doing a bunch of nerd shit, like working out and fucking doing firefighter hose drags in 100-degree heat, and I'd just be sitting there like, dude, that sucks. But I became really close with a lot of those guys, and dude, like they're awesome. Like a lot of those firefighter guys are fucking legit, especially the prevention dudes, which is essentially are like those are the arson guys. They have guns, but they're firefighters.
Yeah, he was kind of one of those
Prevention. Yeah, I got a couple homies, Craig Dudley up north, and he's a super fucking good guy. But yeah, those guys are cool, man.
Super cool.
Yeah,
Do you think like
Except for the ones with mustaches.
all of them.
Those ones.
the firefighters with mustaches?
yeah.
Do you think like being a cop makes you kind of turns you in eventually to being, I don't know, doing like not a bad person, but kind of go that direction that you talk about? Or do you think it just attracts that kind of person to begin with?
Fuck, man. It's like usually there's an underlying predisposition, right? See, it just depends, dude. Again, I wasn't I operate in the gray a lot of times, dude, but you really have to. I wasn't out there violating rights and robbing people, but I definitely did not do shit by the book, but I was effective and I tried to help people. But the reason why I became a cop was to actually help people.
Sure.
But there are some people that become a cop because they know that that's going to be a good way to get away with shit if you have the badge, right? So it just depends. But then some like go into it for the right reasons. They get jaded and cynical, and they're like, "Why is this guy driving a $150,000 jacked up truck, and I'm broke as fuck, and I'm getting spit on by tweakers and shit?" And then they see opportunities and take advantage of them.
And
So it just
also, I
depends.
think it depends on your like personal character, because
Yes.
if you're around any sort of group of people, you're either going to fit in with them and do what they're doing, or you're going to be like, "What the fuck? This doesn't make sense for me."
Well, you have to weigh out the pros and the cons too, bro. Like, it's like, is it worth my career or my livelihood, my home, to try to steal this or do that? And it's
Right.
like, fuck no. That was always mine.
Exactly. It's like
But some guys roll the dice and then they do it for long enough and then they get that complacency like I was talking about, and then they get jammed up and then they lose everything,
What was that movie with Russell Crowe and Denzel? Was it Denzel Washington?
Training Day.
Training Day, Ethan Hawke.
No, not that one. How did you just pull that up? That was
He
crazy.
had it up before you even started talking about
No,
it.
not that. American Gangster.
Oh, yeah, that's a great movie.
Dude, where Russell Crowe plays the cop, and wasn't it based on kind of a true story
Yeah.
of the cop like who wouldn't take the money, wouldn't participate in the things, and everybody's like, "What the fuck are you doing?
got
You're blowing
ostracized."
up our shit."
So that was based in
Yeah.
New York, right? And they had a
Yeah.
whole different level of corruption there, man. And that is
Frank. What's his name? Was the gangster
Frank White.
Frank White.
Yeah, I know that from B.I.G.
But yeah, dude.
Notorious.
Well, and that's how Mendo used to run too, dude. Like if you're not one of them, then you're against them. You know what I mean?
If you're not with us, you're against us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Well, and that's the thing. That's the thing too.
That's Ricky Bobby.
I always got
trademark.
I always got asked by people like, why, Trent, why didn't you, they didn't believe me, like that I wasn't there personally for a lot of these things, like the hardcore shit. And I'm like, dude, these guys aren't running around fucking, they let in who they think is going to be a good asset and who's going to do the shit that they're doing, right? But if they know up front that's not your thing, they're not even going to fucking talk to you about it. Like Derek Hendry, and I've said this before, he was a close friend of mine for years. I went to his house, barbecued and shit, hung out. We actually went to the forest one time. But like I hung out with that guy often. And it wasn't until like almost the end of my time when I started to work for him at Willits PD, did I start to hear all this shit, and then I started to look into it. And then when he was fucking with me, the more I looked into, the more I talked to people, the more I learned, and I was like, wow, this guy's like a fucking monster. Holy shit! Like Pete Hoyle too, same thing. Yeah, I know.
We all know that
But
one.
they're BFFs. Those two, Bruce Smith, it's like a whole collective of dudes, man. Like they all go out to Pete Hoyle's gun ranch thing. It's on the west side of the road when you're going up the grade. Matt Kendall goes out there too and shoots guns and shit. And that's what I mean, dude. They're all connected. It's fucking crazy.
What do you think of, like, just to kind of talk about something a little different? Like, what's your take on, like, I was just seeing, like, Trump is basically putting, like, the National Guard in, taking over, like, the police in Washington, right?
Drew's gonna cancel me in Hollywood, man.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. We don't have to talk about that. I was going to ask, like.
He still lives in California, Drew.
Okay.
Hey, I'm just gonna say this, bro, because I got asked this question.
That happened in LA recently, too, right? So.
Yeah. Like all the ICE stuff.
Yeah. And just kind of like, then the National Guard and the riots and all that. And it's like.
Yeah. So, I got asked this question when I ran for sheriff, dude. I was doing a fucking meet and greet at Good Life Cafe in the coast in Mendocino, and I got asked who I voted for, Biden or Trump at the time. I've never voted in my life, not once. The only time I voted was to recall Gavin Newsom when I was still a cop.
That a boy.
Yeah, now you have.
That's when we really needed you.
Yeah, because I'm not fucking political, dude. Like I see both sides. Now you have the extremes on both that are fucking insane. Right side, extreme rights are fucking insane. Left side's obviously insane. I feel that there's a middle ground, and maybe that's just because I was a cop for so long, and you see both sides sometimes of a situation. And voting, I thought, was just a bunch of bullshit because at the end of the day, the Electoral College makes these fucking decisions.
Right,
and historically, it's not always based off of the popular vote, right? What their constituents are telling them to vote for. And so I'm like, well, we don't even get to fucking choose. And then we saw how that one election that all the conspiracy theorists said was fucking rigged, right? We see how this shit works out, but I've just never fucking voted.
Chose
dude.
to participate in that system.
Yeah, and you have people that get mad about that, like, oh, what if nobody voted? You know, it's like, well, dude, that's never going to happen. Why you hit me with insane hypotheticals? Like,
for sure, but there's also countries where people don't get a say in what happens, and you do have the right to do that. So if you choose not to do it, that's your choice.
Here's my thing.
But there's a lot of people that fought and died for their right for you to be able to vote, right? I mean, now whether it means something or not.
Well, that's
definitely arguable these days.
Yeah, no, and I can understand that that point, dude. It's like Trent, all these people, there are all these wars and fucking the Revolutionary War and all these things, you know, going back to fucking England and shit. And it's like, I can understand that, but why do I need to be forced and pressured into voting just because of that fact? Like, here's my thing: if I'm not going to vote, I don't bitch about it.
Yeah, well, you don't
unless it's the governor, because I fucking voted to have that bitch out of there.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like I see that side, and people are gonna. There's no pleasing everybody, but also we have to live our own lives, man. Who are we gonna fucking try to please the whole world?
And I think you're totally right. And I made this point on this podcast. It's like, it's not about picking a side or a person. Like, no one's coming to save us. It's definitely about free thinking and like what feels right at the moment and whatever the best choice is. But my thought was more like, you know, you see Trump bringing in the National Guard to take over basically like what the police are supposed to be doing in these cities, you know? And to me, it's like when it happened in LA, we were talking like, well, if the sheriff's department and the police were doing their job, then they wouldn't have to bring in the National Guard. And boy, did that really ruffle some feathers. And then I see him doing it.
I bet it did,
bro. Dude, it got hot in the kitchen, dude. Yeah. And then I see him doing it in Washington now, you know, DC, where he's bringing in the National Guard, and they had like the first night of no murders in. Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay, that sounds great and all, but like, isn't this how they start to warm you up to like, oh, it's good to bring the feds in, and then because we needed it here and here, and pretty soon, like, is this gonna like just keep happening?
Let me tell you something, Drew.
Can't cops do their own job?
let me holler at you a second.
All right, dude.
So
some game.
I don't watch the fucking news, bro. Like, I get my news from Instagram just because I happen to pass it, right? All news is biased as shit. I don't care what side you're on. Everyone has an agenda.
Right.
Right. And
Except for the Like It or Not podcast.
that's true. But I get my sources from people that are there on the front lines. One of my homies works for fucking Homeland Security.
Yeah.
And he's been on the border several times since 2020 and is personally involved in all that shit. So I ask people like that are in the know, and it's so just like completely different than what's being broadcast out to the thing. Now, what he told me,
and that's also one perspective that you're getting.
100%,
Right,
100%.
too.
But he just tells me, I just like, hey, exactly.
Yeah, what's your experience?
Like
Right.
what's going on? But he's also going off of what his orders are.
Sure. Yeah.
Which come from up top, right?
So what do you tell you?
Well, so back in the day under the Biden administration, they were just letting motherfuckers through the border, bro. Like, and basically you just come in, and as long as you weren't on that quote terrorist watch list, which is super easy not to be on, because it's not practical to think that everyone's going to be on some magical document, right? But a lot of guys that were like bad dudes, you know, like the actual criminals, they were getting fake families, fake wife, fake kids, fucking, and crossing over the border because a solo guy was an immediate red flag, right? So that was a huge problem. And then, but in terms of like the ICE stuff, initially they were researching and conducting surveillance and going after the dudes that we see the news is talking about, the big time gang members, people with multiple felonies, like people that are a major quality of life issue to people here in America. That was their first intention, and that's what they went off of for a while. But he's not attached to this, but other people that works for his organization, yeah, he said that and he didn't agree with this either. He's like, this is fucked. They were legit rolling up to Home Depot and kidnapping motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I'm like, how did they know that they weren't here illegally, bro? How can you just take a human and chuck them in a van? He's like, they were just profiling them, essentially. So that was legit. Like,
Yeah,
that's
sure.
what he told me. So, but it's just, I don't know, man. Everyone has their own thoughts. You have all these fucking idiots all these people that see both sides of it, right? They're like, oh, well, it's illegal, therefore we have to deal with it. But then the other people are like, well, dude, you're fucking with people that are legit working in fields or restaurants or whatever, but they're not like doing anything. They've never been arrested, no criminal history. And I think that there's a fine line there. You know what I mean? There should be a balance of that. And it's just crazy. I actually agree with Matt Kendall on this part with social media. I think as a society, we went downhill, not in terms of how fast we get information, but just how negative everything is.
Yeah.
You go on social media, bro. I try not to go on it too much anymore, even though I kind of need to, but like, it's so negative. Everyone's on there and just like wants to have a bad day. They just have something negative and terrible to say about everything. Remember back in the 90s and 2000s, we didn't have that shit. It's just like you had to like call people on the fucking phone or talk to them in person. You saw news on like a TV, but you weren't just glued to your fucking phone doom scrolling on all this biased shit. Most of it's not even true.
Yeah.
It's exaggerated or, sometimes just straight up a lie.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know, man. That's why I think mental health is such a major issue these days, too. It's fucking depressing.
Totally.
Everything in this world right now is fucking depressing.
Right.
It really is.
That's 100% true if you're plugged into your phone all the time.
Yeah, that's what
You know
I mean.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You put that motherfucker down and you go outside and
Yeah.
look around, or you go to fucking Sundays in the park, or you do something in the community or something cool, and you're like, oh, fuck yeah.
Why do you think I'm up here, bro? I had to fucking take a break, dude, because LA is not real.
Yeah.
It's a fake place.
Yeah.
And everybody there is high. Not on weed, on a substance, dude. You have to be everyone's fake happy down there. It's so bizarre. When I first moved there, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with everybody? Like, everyone's having a good time. And I was like, oh, they're all on fucking Xanax or fucking weed or drunk or fucking Coke and shit. And it's like, because it's a depressing
It's how they cope.
place. Yeah.
With not being
It's hard,
authentic.
Bro. Well, it's such a superficial place,
Yeah.
and really to even enjoy your life, you got to be making $500,000 a year. So it's just crazy.
The hardest thing, I always say that, like, the hardest thing to be is inauthentic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just eats away at your soul.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people don't have to agree with you, but if you're at least just being who you are, it's such a relief. And you're right about social media. People just pipe off on there in ways they would never talk in real life, but it also gives you what you tell it to give you as well, right? Like, I get a lot of wiener dog, videos and like stuff that makes me happy too. But and then
Wiener dog videos make you happy?
yeah, dude, I love wiener dogs, dude. Or like whatever,
Yeah,
like
no, I
German
get what you're
short-haired
saying,
stuff,
dude.
and then plenty of memes of AI videos of Gavin Newsom stealing money
That you post to the Like It or Not page.
every time, dude. 2 a day, that nonstop until we get someone else. Now you know who
Fuck.
it is. Carter's like, please don't.
Like, dude, another one? This is AI.
Yeah, that one I liked a lot. Dude.
I bet you did.
These guys are like, no.
But social media is tough too, man. I'm sure you guys, because I see some of your guys' comments sometimes. I get the same shit, just a bunch of fucking losers, dude. And it's just like, are you serious? This last YouTube video I did on the guy I used to work with, the deputy that tased that dude, and he died in Brook Trails. I'm sorry, not in Brook Trails, in Willits. I got most of it, the vast majority was positive, but I had a lot of people that were commenting that they don't watch the whole shit. They watch the first 5 seconds,
Right.
and they thought that I was agreeing with how cops handled it. They're like, you piece of shit, you're just a cab and fucking, you're just a bootlicker, and these cops didn't do what they were supposed to do. And I'm like, bitch, you didn't watch the fucking video. One guy, he commented, and
Yeah.
he's like, he was roasting me. And then he commented again 15 minutes later. He's like, oh, I take back my comment. I had just finished watching the whole thing. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Because that's how we are trained on these things as a society is
Yeah.
to watch the first thing, have a reaction, post a reaction.
Yeah, he felt great
You know
about
what I mean?
that too. That's what I mean about social media, dude. It's tough.
Oh, we get that all the time. We post like this little clip, and
Yeah.
then people watch that, and then they form this whole opinion, and it's like,
They watched a minute out of
I see it, dude.
an
I
hour
laugh
and
my
a
ass
half.
off.
I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, watch the podcast, jackass. I agree with what you're saying.
My
You're
favorite one so far is somebody said podcast equipment should be less accessible to regular people.
Mine was all of these people should get nut cancer.
That's fucking egregious, dude.
Yeah, I know, dude. But
It's so rad,
If we're not
though.
laughing, we're crying. You know what I mean?
I just say thanks for watching. Like if I said that,
Yeah,
right.
whatever, dude. But it's just funny. It's like take the time to listen
Yeah.
to it before you just have this like emotional reaction. Fair enough. Like the little clips are there to pique your interest, but it's like there's a whole story there, dog.
Yeah.
Dive in if you actually care.
Well, and we all have opinions, dude. And I think that not enough people are having conversations.
Right.
You know, like if I don't agree with some shit that you guys say to, for example, like Matt Kendall or whatever,
You just post a video about it.
yeah, well, like, but I mean, you see how I address it, right? Like,
No,
I
totally.
don't, and
it was very respectful and cool and great. And
Well, yeah,
and you have
well, and I had people asking me, they're like, well, about, or they saw your guys' shit or something, and they'd reach out to me, and they're like, Trent, are you gonna fucking? They thought that I was gonna come after you guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, dude. I'm like, they're cool. They're just doing a podcast. It's like they may not agree with everything I say or whatever. I'm like, they're just sitting there giving their own fucking opinions. We're all just people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it's like they're not sitting there, at least to my face, saying Trent's a piece of shit. So it's like I'm not going to have any ill will. You know what I mean?
yeah. You just call us a silly goose. It
Actually,
was a-
No, I listen. I mean, when Matt was on here,
I did say that, didn't I? I was like, Drew, you silly goose.
that's my favorite part.
yeah.
but like I got it coming. You know what I mean? Like I have a podcast. I put it out there. It's fine. That's what we're doing here.
Right.
Yeah.
But I made an effort with the podcast with Matt Kendall here to at least like bring up some of the points that you talk about so he could address it here, because it's in some cases it is not like the community doesn't know what you're saying. Like you have a lot of followers in this community, and here's your chance to say what you want to say about it. And you're right. In some cases he addressed it. In some cases he kind of danced around it. But like at least the opportunity was there. And it's like we've had you on 3 times, we had him on 3 times. Like everybody should get their chance to say what they want to say.
We're an equal opportunity podcast.
And there's value in both, especially for the listeners.
Well, and that's what I say to people that ask me about you guys. I'm like, dude, what I say is they're not going to know any better because, and this is nothing against you guys. This is everybody, because you didn't work for the fucking department.
Right.
we don't have that experience.
You don't have the experience. It's not because you're dumb. It's just like you don't have the experience. That's why I'm able to talk about it. But it's like you don't know when he's bamboozling you guys or whatever. But at the end of the day, I say this too, which he will never say, right? It's like, you can shoot. We're all just two, like me and him. He's saying shit. He's a guy saying shit at the end of the day. I'm a guy saying shit at the end of the day. Everyone's going to formulate their own opinions. I still not really too much anymore because so many people have been fired or caught cases that I talked about that will still talk shit about me. Usually it's like Matt Kendall on a burner account or fucking some dude, you know, that's related to somebody I talked about. But you just have to understand that fact, man. That's like everyone has a right to decide if I'm lying or he's lying. And that's why I try to be as open and articulate and detailed as possible and provide information instead of come on in here and being just like, oh man, Trent's still making those videos. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just like, dude, give me a fucking break. But no, yeah, you guys are just, you just ask questions and they're just going to say what they say.
That's it. Give people an opportunity, and I make an effort to push back on certain people with certain things, but also not have it be completely hostile, right? You know what I mean? It's just it's just that balance, you know.
And we're not trying to. This is a fun show.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Depends on who
we're
you
not
ask.
Trying to. You started fucking laughing immediately.
What are you laughing at, bro? You're a producer, dude. You're responsible too, bro.
Yeah, dude. You're tied to us now, bro.
Just remember that, dude.
But at least you guys are asking questions that nobody else is asking.
Right.
Dude. You're like looking into shit, and you're bringing in people, all different kinds of people around the community to ask their opinions, their expertise, their fields,
Right.
about what's going on and how can we unfuck this shit, you know?
Exactly, and that feels like our responsibility. Like we're gonna have this, and people are gonna listen. We're gonna come on here and say your piece, and then if something doesn't smell right, I'm gonna ask, like, well, wait a minute, you know?
Yeah.
And you can do it to a certain point before it just is like badgering, but yeah, and then people can hopefully they'll listen to it and make their own opinion. Because that's what it's all about. You get to make your own opinion. You don't have to agree with me or Carter or Trent. It's like listen to it and then think for yourself. You don't have to be on a team or in a tribe. It's just like this is the information that we can get you.
And that's what
take it for what it is.
Right. And that's what it's about. That's why we have so many different people on. So that they can tell from their own mouths, you know, their perspective, their experience, their story, whatever it is. And that's out there. And that's what's cool about a podcast is it doesn't get twisted up. It's straight from your mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so
100%.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks for coming on, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say or address before we?
I don't think so, man. I think I had some shit I wanted to say, but I'm just so blasted out from traveling the last few days. I can't. So
Yeah.
no, it's all good.
What's your YouTube channel?
Oh, it should still be Confessions of an Ex-Cop or The Trent James. I don't really, dude, I haven't had time, dude, like to post as
videos.
much. Yeah, like it's, I mean, you guys know so much shit goes into that stuff, dude.
Right, but for our new listeners or watchers that haven't checked you out before, they might want to go back and watch a couple videos that we referenced today.
You can just Google me, dude.
Yeah.
Trent James, and all my shit comes up, all of it now.
Cool.
So
Yeah, I like the Miami Vice little intro thing you got.
I'm not taking credit for that. One of my homies did that.
Yeah, well, he did. That thing's great. Yeah, there
Shout
it
out,
is,
homie.
Yeah, that should be like
There
on
he
a.
is.
That's like a T-shirt from the early '90s.
Oh,
dude.
my intro and outro.
Dude, you got to make
Yeah.
a t-shirt of that.
Dude, I had so many ideas, you know, even when we had Two Fire Cops podcast, I'm like, let's make t-shirts and fucking coffee mugs and shit. And then like we immediately gave up on all those ideas.
donut boxes.
When it comes to like time to do it, you know, and it's just like
we should make
fuck.
some gear, dude. Sell some hats.
Yeah, YouTube's cool though, dude. Like I had a bunch of some of these videos really pick up, and people from other areas listen. I know you guys get that shit too, and they're like, well, you should talk about this, Trent, or this.
We have
or
a
this.
bunch of fans from Istanbul for some reason.
That's random as
I
shit.
know, it's so crazy.
You guys have a Mendocino County podcast, and you're got Istanbul.
Yeah, dude, it's real popular.
I don't know why.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's really strange.
But yeah, it's a lot of work, man. It's tough.
It is. A lot goes into it, especially if you want to make it any kind of decent quality, right? You know.
Yeah, I love it. It's fun, and I like to, like you said, I feel like I do have it. When some like major shit comes up, I make sure that I set the time aside to look into it.
Yeah.
If it's straight shenanigans, you know. But like other than that, it's just because I feel like I do have a duty, because it's like no one's gonna know the difference, man.
Yeah.
That's why I try to do very thorough analysis videos that people watch the first 10 seconds to formulate an opinion anyway. But
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
If you made it this far in the podcast, you're a true OG. Do us a favor, be a bro, share the show, pass it around, you know, take some clips, whatever, spread the word. We appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.